Hi, welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. We're talking today about choosing yarn. Hi, welcome to Knit with Hannah. I'm Hannah. I'm here with Knitting Nana to help you learn to knit the easy way. And yes, today we're talking about choosing yarn for knitting. There's so many ways you can go when you're selecting yarn for your knitting, and I mean, you can go to a yarn shop and you can go around and feel them all and work out which one feels best, which you like best, the colours and such like. And you can go online as well and look at all of the different colours and the styles of knitting yarn there. But I'm going to give you 3 tips so you can actually find a focus. So you're not looking at everything in the shop. You have a focus and you know which ones will suit what you want to knit and which ones you can actually discard because they're not on that little set of ideas you want to focus on. So if you want to come here, I've got a couple more beginners videos coming up in the next couple of weeks. Do subscribe so you have notifications, hit a little bell so you'll be told when a new video appears. It'll be great to have you here. I've got lots of videos already, lots of playlists all ready for you to start knitting. Now, so yes, this week we are talking about choosing yarn for knitting. And the first tip I have for you is to look at the weight. Now, this comes in 2 terms actually, because weight and weights are 2 different things when you're knitting. When you think about weight in normal life, you're thinking about the mass of something, how much something weighs, is it heavy, is it light? So first of all, yes, we need to look at the mass. Look at something and say, how many lots of balls do I need? How many balls do I need? How many 50-gram balls do I need? How many 100-gram balls do I need? How much weight do I need? But then you need to look at the other type of weight when it comes to knitting, and that is the weight, meaning the thickness of the yarn. Your pattern, or whoever's given you instructions on what to knit, will tell you the weight of the yarn, and that comes in various guises. That can be 4-ply, DK, Aran, also known as worsted weight yarn, chunky yarn. It could also be super chunky, and chunky is also called bulky, and super chunky is also called super bulky. So there are lots of different ways you can look at weight, and in the United States and in Canada they're also given numbers on a scale. So you will look at the yarn, and the higher the number, the thicker the yarn will be. So you're following instructions, you will see what you need to look for, and it will be a lot easier for you then to say, that's the right weight, that's the wrong weight. I don't need to even look at them because they're not going to suit and they're perfect. Let me choose between them. So that's the first thing. Look at the weight and consider the 2 different weights that you need. The second thing you need to think about is fibre. All sorts of fibre makes up fabric. If you just look at your clothes, you'll realise that the different labels tell you that it's made of acrylic or polyester, which are synthetics, or it's made of bamboo or cotton, or even these days you're coming across hemp, and viscose made from wood pulp even. And then, of course, the age-old understanding from knitting is that we make fibre from wool. So take a look at what you want to knit, and also what do the pattern instructions tell you that you want to use. So not only do you get the individual fibres, you also get them mixed up so that they create blends of fibres once it's all spun together to make the yarn. So think about what you want to knit with. Do you have a wool allergy? Do you want it to be really nice and cozy and soft for a baby? If you have a wool allergy, then maybe you want to use a synthetic fibre or a cotton or a bamboo mix. A perfect option for baby is a cotton merino mix, and that's ideal for baby blankets and baby hats and cardigans and things. It will wash quite easily and it will be usable and breathable and natural fibre close to the skin. So that's the second thing, that's the fibre. The third thing you want to think about is the texture. Now, if you're an experienced knitter, you will say, I don't mind about the texture of a yarn, I'm happily going to knit with it. The yarn moves around the needles, I'm used to every stitch, no problem. But if you're a beginner knitter, you really need to think about that. If there's lots of bumps and tweedy bits and lumps across the yarn, if it changes thickness because it's handmade, it's luxurious in that respect, you might find it quite difficult to knit with. So what you want to look for if you're a beginner knitter is something that's smooth, that's well spun, and something that's predictably even as you go through your stitches, so that as you start to knit, it's not going to be confusing. One stitch looks like that, one stitch looks like that, and then when you try to move the needles with the yarn on the next row, you're looking at it going, what went wrong? I don't understand where all these stitches have come from, because that wasn't a stitch and that is. That can happen sometimes if you're new to knitting, if the yarn is just too lumpy and bumpy and confusing and you just had enough eventually. So that's the third thing. Look at the texture of the yarn. Depending on your expertise with your knitting, you can really make it easy for yourself to focus when you go to the yarn shop with that too. There you go. And once you've focused on all of those three things, then you can start exploring the colours. So yeah, have a play with the colours once you've figured out all those other things too. Great, those are my 3 tips for you today, all about choosing yarn for knitting. I hope that's really helpful to you. I have a download if you'd like that below, just to give you a checklist for when you go to a yarn shop. Go and download that. You can easily pick it up and just tick off all of the bits and pieces that you do or you don't need whenever you go to the yarn shop. It will mean that you're focused, that you're not walking around the shop in a daze for 3 hours coming out with nothing. Or, like a lot of times happens, maybe you walk out of the yarn shop with a bag full of stuff that you don't actually need. Let's make that easier. So yeah, look down below in the description and there is a download for you if you'd like to have a checklist for when you next go to the yarn shop. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. It's great to have you here. Do subscribe if you're not subscribed already and hit the notifications bell so that you'll know when the new video appears. I will see you next week. Bye for now. Happy knitting.